Hi, in the previous lesson we have revisited primitives and we have found out that some characters can be saved in single char data type, but some characters they need two char variables. I hope you have read about UTF-16 from this Wikipedia link. So I believe you have a better understanding now about these code points, code units, and how UTF-18 is of variable length encoding. Okay, then we have discussed about floating points. We have seen that float has only 6 to 7 significant decimal digits, and so we don't use that float because it will result in the rounding of errors that are not acceptable in even general situations. So we want to use double because they have a greater significant digits. Okay, that is all about previous lesson and primitives. In this lesson we are going to cover operators. Okay, so when we look at data, we have to do many operations on that. For example, we may need to increase a value or decrease a value based on some input. Okay, or we have to calculate a different value by doing multiplication, division, or we need to find out whether a number is divisible by other number or not, so that we can do something based on that. So all these kind of things we have to do. Also sometimes we have to compare whether two variables are equal or not. So for example, we are finding we are doing two operations, like we want to find the result of first task, and we want to find the result of second task, then we want to compare them. So these kind of things we do as we start writing programs. So for that we need different operators. Okay, let's get started and learn all those operators that are available. Okay, the first one is assignment operator. We have been seeing this operator from the beginning, like we are creating variable and then we are assigning a value using a assignment operator. So it is not a new one, we have been seeing that and it is easy to understand. Okay, then we will come across situations where we have to add two numbers or the other point I want to make is the operators that we are going to see now, they are applicable to both integers as well as floating points. Okay, so even though when I say integers or numbers, just think that I am talking about both integers as well as floating points. Okay, so here if you see, we have 23 students in class 1 and 22 students in class 2. If you want to find total students, we have to add that, right? So this is how we add two variables, or I can simply write 23 plus 22 also, but that is hard coding or using literals. But here we are using adding two variables. This is how we add them, and this is how we subtract using the minus operator. I'm sorry. Okay, this is about additive operators. They are useful for adding two numbers or subtracting two numbers. Okay, so coming to multiplicative operators, if you want to find output of multiplication, okay, then we use this symbol or this operator. To divide two numbers, we use this one. This is a modulus operator. Generally we don't see that. If you are a beginner, you will see it as something new, but it is used to find the remainder of a division. Okay, if you divide 3 with 2, you are going to get a remainder of 1, so that is what it is going to return. Okay, so I am going to use them and print the output. Let's run this and see for ourselves. Okay, if we divide 12 with 7, sorry, not divide, multiply, the result is 84. But if we divide 12 with 7, instead of multiplication, here we are doing division. So you may expect something like 1.4 or something, but because both are integers, in this case the output is also going to be integer. This is called integer arithmetics. Okay, so for these binary operators, when I say binary, they are going to take two operands. Okay, when these binary operators operate on operands, if both operands are integers, then the output is also integer, the result is integer. Okay, so be very careful whenever you are doing these binary operators. If both are integers, the arithmetics will be integer arithmetics. So you may, if you expect some 1.2, you won't get that, you will get only 1. Okay, so here we are dividing 12 with 7 and the remainder is 5. If you want, we can change the variables, let's reverse them and let's run it again. Okay, in this case 7 into 12 84, whether it is 12 into 7 or 7 into 12, it is going to be 84. Okay, when you divide 7 with 12, you are going to get something like 0.45, but we have to get a integer, so it is the integer equivalent of 0.45 or whatever that value is 0. Even if you get 0.99, it is going to be 0 only, because here the truncation is happening. It is not rounding off, it is going to truncate whatever fractional part you have. Okay, so modulus is 7. This is very straightforward. Let's move on. We have unary operators to represent positive and negative numbers. So basically, whenever you are saying some plus number, you are basically multiplying it with +1. Whenever you are saying some minus number, you are multiplicating with -1. For example, let's start with a positive number. We have a positive number. If you multiply that number with a plus, by including plus here, you are actually multiplying with +1. Okay, the value is still going to be plus or positive. So if you multiply it with -1, other way of saying minus positive number, so it is going to be -24. So that is what is going to happen here. So we have taken a number 24, we have multiplied with +1 and we got +24. We have multiplied with minus and we got -24. These are unary operators. Okay, they are not taking two operands, they are taking only one operand. So in this case, this number, so they are called unary operators. Then as I said many times, we have to compare whether two numbers are equal or not, whether one is less than or equal to second one or less than second one. So to do all those kind of operations, we have this one. Okay, so we have seen assignment operator, which is using single equal to, but to compare whether two variables are having the same value or not, we will use double equal to. So double equal to is nothing but is it equal to. Okay, not is it equal to, we are checking is this value equal to other value. Okay, so here I am doing all those operations, I am printing those outputs also. For example, I have taken two operands, first operand is 10, second operand is also 10. Let's see what it is going to be. Is 10 double equal to 10? Yes. Is they are not equal to? False. The result of all these comparison operators is a boolean value. So the result we can assign to boolean variable also. Okay, so here we can see whether is 10 less than equal to 10? False. Is 10 greater than 10? False. Is 10 greater than or equal to 10? True. So okay, this time let's run with different values. So basically we are going to see the opposite. Okay, are they equal? False. Are they not equal? True. Is 11 less than 10? False. Is 11 less than or equal to 10? False. But is it greater than 10? True. Is it greater than or equal to 10? True. Okay, then as I said, the result of this operation can be assigned to a boolean variable. So that is what we are doing here. We are comparing two variables whether they are equal to or not, then we are assigning the resulting boolean value to a boolean variable. So the result is going to be true or not true. In this case it is going to be false because we have taken different variables, different values, so the result is false. Okay, in our application we will come across many situations where we have to increase the value by only 1. Okay, it is happens so many times. So because of that we have a increment operator. What it does is it simply increments the value by 1. But there are two flavors to increment operator. You can do either postfix or prefix. What do we mean by that? Whenever you are using postfix increment operator, you use the value of you use the current value, then you increment whenever you use this one in a expression. Okay, whenever you are using pre-increment, actually you increment the value first, then whatever is the resulting value you are going to use that in expression. Okay, let's see that in example. Here it is 0, then when you add +1 it is going to be 11, with this it is going to be 12, with this it is going to be 13, not 13, we started with 0, so it is going to be 3. Okay, I copied this 3 into two different variables and I am printing the value with postfix as well as prefix. So here before this statement is executed, the value is 3, but because we are using postfix, the expression value is still 3. Okay, but in this case the expression value is 4 because we are using a pre-increment. But at the end, I mean after these two are incremented, the value of both index 2 and index 3 is 4. Let's see that in code. Okay, so we started with 3. If you use postfix, the value of expression is 3. If you use prefix, the value of expression is 4. But at the end, both are ending up with a value of 4. Okay, so unless you are using these increment operators with some confusing scenarios like these things, you don't need to worry about postfix and prefix. Don't use them as expressions, just use them as statements. For example, here you have used it as a statement, here you have used it as a expression. So don't use it as a expression unless you have to and unless you understand it thoroughly, but using it as a statement is easy and you don't need to worry about any side effects or the unintended results. Okay, so use them as statements, meaning they will be simply incremented by 1. That's it. Okay, so similar to increment, we have decrement operator also. Same thing actually. Whether we use the existing value, then increment, not increment, decrement, or we are going to decrement first and use that value. You can once you understand increment operator, decrement operator is nothing. Okay, so that is about increment and decrement operator. I'm moving on. There are also some operators called compound assignment operator. So what they do is, for example, you have to increase the base value by 2. Okay, how do you write that expression? Base value equal to base value plus some incremental value. So in this case 10 plus 2 result is 12. 12 is assigned back to base value. So here the base value is used twice, right? As in the left hand expression, also right hand expression. All that you are doing is just incrementing by some value, right? So these kind of statements can be converted to these compound assignment operators. So this is a assignment operator, but because it is compound assignment operator, what happens is the base value will be incremented by this one. So these two statements are same, whether you write base value equal to base value plus something or base value plus equal to something. Okay, so those are same. This is simple and easy to understand. The chances of making errors is less if you write these kind of statements. So that is why they are there in the language. Okay, but there is some small difference. These two are not exactly same unless you need some casting is happening. We haven't covered in anything about cast, so I will discuss that later. Also I will bring up these compound assignment operators again. Okay, but not only addition, you can do the compound assignment for subtraction, multiplication, division, even for finding the remainder. Okay, that is all about the operators that I want to cover. There are some operators like shift operator, bitwise operator, complement operator, and also there is something called ternary operator. I am going to cover them in a different lesson. These are not used that frequently, so we don't need them. Okay, that is all about these operators. We have, let me recap very quickly. We have assignment operator, then we have additional operators called for addition and subtraction. Then we have got multiplicative operators for multiplication, division, and to find the modulus. Then we have unary operators to represent positive and negative numbers. Then we have comparison operators for finding out equality, inequality, also whether it is less than or greater than. Then we have looked at increment and decrement operators, which will increase the value by either 1 or decrease the value by 1. Then we have compound assignment operators. The way we write the compound expression is by combining both the operators. Like instead of writing base value equal to base value plus increment value, we will write base value plus equal to incremental value. There is some casting happening here, but because we haven't covered cast, so that will be covered later. Thanks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share it with others.